Okay, today part of the hurricane prep is we're going to do the propane connection. So this is a 100-pound propane tank, which holds roughly about 22 gallons. I had to pay $3.50 down here in Florida. Okay, now since I plan to run it a little bit longer distance than the cable that came with the generator, this connection here is different from your typical connection on typical barbecue tanks. You know, the smaller ones. You know, so I couldn't use this guy. I could use them on the generator, but the size is different here. So use your local propane dealer to help you out. The guys down helped me a whole lot to get this all configured. Okay, so they had to go to several reducers to get it from their standard hose length down to the 3/8 inch. So it's 3/8 inch that's on the Duramax generators. Once I was able to find out this was 3/8 inch, he was able to get all the reducers for me. So that's the key, 3/8 of an inch on the Duramax. So I'm running a 10-foot cable. And with all propane, the longer you run it, the less the pressure gets, especially the hose is bigger. If you look at the hoses, you can see this is the one that came with it. This is the one I bought. So you need to get a regulator. This was about 50 bucks. And how this works, the main line to the tank goes out this way. And this goes into the tank. You have the flange joint here, and then this is what will screw onto the actual tank. This piece right here screws on the actual tank. So Teflon tape, all metal connections. All right. So with that, I can run up to 10 feet. I've got pressure regulation and a bigger hose to allow the tank. This is a low pressure system, the generator, underneath my cute beach towel here. Okay, so with that, let's start hooking up some propane. Okay, all YouTube peeps, we're gonna do the run on propane so you can see how I did it. Obviously this is post-hurricane where it's nice and clean. So, all right, as you see, relatively hand tighten this. You don't need to go King Kong on it. Make sure all this is Teflon taped. Regulator, again, Teflon tape into here. That's the 10-foot hose because I had it far out more. All right, always remember, no load when you start any system. You don't want the generator to go on load. Make sure this idle control is off. You got the key engaged. Set that fuel type. Tearing the gas off. It is now on propane. Instructions tell you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, we've primed. The gas is on here. Let's actually talk about what hit me during the Hurricane Irma and the 5 days of power. I had a little trouble with the propane. I'm not really sure why. It did good sometimes and bad other times, but that's only 22 gallons. And in the end, that ran out. So I found out later, propane does not require any electricity to pump. There's one by my store, but the trouble is, that thing is honking big, and you can see the car behind me. I had to put it in the back seat. Weighs 100 pounds, so I got it in okay, but when you get it out and it's filled up, putting it back in that car was a pain in the ass. So unless you got a truck, Now, in the end, when I started the hurricane, I had this little guy, and that guy only. I didn't realize that this generator sucks up about 16 gallons a day. It'll suck up about 20 gallons on propane. Propane is not the best horsepower per gallon. It officially goes diesel, gasoline, then propane. So you get about 80% of the energy that you get on gas and propane. So you don't get quite that push. So I found out very quickly I was up a creek without a paddle. That kind of, you know, the shit creek, to be honest, because I was freaking the hell out. I tried to order some online and they never came in. I walked past these gas cans and I was like, I can get a cheaper price. But in the end, it was just a search all over the city to find a gallon of gas, and I only had one. So you see what I've got now. 6 5-gallon metal cans, 4 5-gallon plastic cans, and 1 little 2.5-gallon can. You're saying, wow, why would you do that? That's sitting, those tanks back there, 25 a piece. The plastic ones, 20 a piece. I hate the plastic ones, hate them. They disform. You've got to change them. Long term, look at Stay-Bill. That's the additive you put in. My rotation scheme is to fill up the green ones right before a hurricane, and then if it looks like the hurricane's really coming, I'll fill up the red ones, and then afterwards I'll just slowly start using the first ones I filled up in my car. It's $3.50 for propane, it's $3.29 for premium, which my car uses, so I'm going to use the gas. It's good. Stay-Bill, if you're going to keep it over a month. Now, once a week, open those cans. Never fill them up. Again, never fill the gas cans completely up. Use the 80% rule. Those fumes will always be expanding, so you need to open those up once a week. Let the gas out. Let the gas fumes out. Now, if you don't, they will misshape, and then next thing you know, they're flat, will now turn to this ball, and you can't put it in your car, and it falls over and leaks gas all over your trunk. True story. Took forever to get that gas smell out. But like that, if you keep them, and this is why I like the metal tanks. Notice this little guy over here? Everybody does it. You'll see saran wrap. You'll see something, whatever. They're just ungainly. Let's talk about these tanks. You see two kinds. For my military days, we use those. Those lock down like Fort Knox. Good solid hitch. They're a little more manly to get them open and closed. I like these better. A good simple metal to metal lid. Happy spouts in there. But they have the vent. Oh my God, it'll self vent. Now let's talk about that in your garage. Open it up once in a while, put a fan in there. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't like keeping fuel. But let me tell you, this is what saved us during the hurricane. This is what kept the air conditioning on. This is what kept the lights on. Propane, I was going to go with 3 tanks, but in the end, the gas option was much cheaper. All right. So you've seen everything. This is what I will use on the next hurricane.